Representative Talarico, as you know, we're about a week away from early voting, and the latest poll from the University of Houston shows you behind by 8 percentage points. What are you doing to try to reverse that in time for the start of voting next week?
Well, I've said from the very first day of this campaign that we are the underdogs. We're going up against some of the biggest names in Texas politics. We're going up against billionaire mega donors. We're going up against the establishment in both political parties. So we know the deck is stacked against us. We know the odds are long. But when you see the turnout at this event here at UNT, you see the excitement, especially among young people in this state, for change. I'm confident we're going to prevail in this primary and in this general election.
What are you doing exactly to make sure to get your supporters out to the polls?
Well, we have 13,000 volunteers who have signed up to join this people-powered movement. They are doing organizing work in every community across the state to win in March and win in November.
So they're out there,
they're knocking doors, they're making calls, they're reaching out to their networks, they are building a people-powered movement. We have not only 13,000 volunteers, we have shattered grassroots fundraising records, all without taking a dime of corporate PAC money. And that's exactly the kind of people-powered movement we need to change this broken, corrupt political system.
You spoke about Bad Bunny today and his Super Bowl.
That's right.
Is this going to be a permanent message on your campaign? How does this relate to your campaign?
Well, I think the message of Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show was that joy and unity and love are so much more powerful than hate and fear and division. And that's exactly the message of our campaign. Obviously, I'm not Bad Bunny, and this is not a Super Bowl halftime show, but the message is the same. We are bringing people together across all these manufactured divisions to change this country on behalf of working people.
That said, there still are obviously tensions and frictions within the Democratic Party and the campaign, and I'm wondering, do you acknowledge that? And especially since the Super PAC that I know your campaign is not involved in, but Super PAC still nonetheless came out with a negative ad against Congresswoman Crockett. So that seemed to rub some people the wrong way.
Well, and I know that tensions are high in this primary, as is the case with many primaries. And I know that there's been negativity, across this state when it comes to this election. My hope is that we can stay focused on what unites us, and that's ending one-party rule after 30 years in this state. And so we have to remember we're on the same team. I am running a positive campaign. I've said that from the beginning. That's going to be true all the way to Election Day. And I hope my supporters follow my lead. And I hope that we can run a campaign based on our ideas, based on our track record, based on our experiences and our vision for the future, rather than tearing each other down.
You are running against this political system.
Yes.
So if you win and you get up to DC, you're still going to have to deal with Chuck Schumer or other senators, whether they're Republican or Democrat, who've been there a long time, and they're not changing. So how do you as one person who's new make a difference and change it?
The same way I did at the state capitol in Austin. I brought people together, Republicans and Democrats alike, to pass major legislation to transform the system. Even as a Democrat in a Republican-dominated legislature, I was able to pass major bills to lower the cost of prescription drugs like insulin, lower the cost of housing, lower the cost of childcare. I took on special interests, I took on big pharma. I battled lobbyists so that I could actually make change for working people in a difficult environment. So if I can do it in the trenches of the Texas legislature, I'm confident that I and the millions of Texans behind us can do it in the halls of the United States Senate.
I did have one other question. I was speaking to some people beforehand, and a lot of the people that I spoke with haven't made up their minds yet. They're struggling. And so I'm wondering, what is your message to them that would help them make up their minds as to why they should vote for you over Congresswoman Crockett?
Well, I think Congresswoman Crockett and I are going to make our cases over the next 3 weeks as to why we should be the Democratic nominee. And I think I bring something unique to this race. I bring a track record of winning tough races, of building big coalitions, of flipping seats like this. As you know, I got elected to the State House by flipping a Trump district in a county that was so red it hadn't voted for a Democrat for president since Jimmy Carter. And I did that by growing the tent, by extending an open hand rather than a closed fist, to people who aren't with us yet. And that's exactly the kind of campaign we need if we're going to win this seat in November. And we have a moral imperative to win in November. So the way I'm running this campaign, without corporate PAC money, by building a big tent, that's what I've done in the past, that's what I'm doing now, and I think that Democrats should look at that track record when they go and select a nominee in this primary.
Thank you.
Perfect. We're all set. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.